Welcome to Save As Ability, a podcast to educate and inform you about disability employment issues. My name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for another episode of Save As Ability. It's David D'Arcangelo. Great to be back with you. If you could help us by continuing to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that really does help us keep great content flowing for you. And we've got great content today. We've got a great guest, Andrew Houghton. Hello, Andrew. Welcome in.
Hey, David. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to be back with you. And you are very well known throughout the disability community for years, and really so many things that you've done and continue to do. And we're just going to have a conversation today about that. I know you're working on an app and all the different things you're involved with, but why don't you start off? Let's give the audience a little bit of an overview, a little thumbnail sketch on you, and then we can get right into, I think we could talk about universal design or really wherever you want to take it, but why don't we start with a little overview on you?
Sure. Well, it's great to be with you. Listen, I've used a wheelchair for 39 years, originally from Southern California. I've just had the great fortune of a blessed life, being able to do everything from director of one of the largest competitive adaptive sports programs to working in, post-conflict regions like Bosnia and Kosovo, developing programs for the newly injured and other people with disabilities, to being a presidential appointee as well as gubernatorial appointees. My experience is quite vast, and it's primarily due to the people I've been able to surround myself with. Primarily my wife, Jill. She's an incredible woman, also the CEO of Disability Inn. But about almost 10 years ago now, I partnered up with a guy who's a good friend, and we created a proprietary checklist to help organizations, global organizations, implement universal design strategies into their built environment. And since then, we've worked in over 30 countries, helped, you name the company, we've helped them adopt global standards and implement their strategies, which ultimately improve access, safety, and inclusivity in their workplaces, manufacturing, laboratory, distribution, etc. So it's a really rewarding job.
Well, that's great. That hits so many of the things that we talk about here all the time on Save As Ability, universal access, access to opportunity. So thanks for what you've done over the years. You've been very active, like almost to the point of like Daredevil with some of the things you've done. You're in the water, you're doing, all kinds of things. And so I think it's really encouraging and a great example of people who, if they experience mobility, disability and challenges and things like that, that they're not limited. Like you've clearly demonstrated that you can lead a very full, able life, even if you are in a wheelchair, right?
Well, listen, it wasn't always that easy. It's funny because in retrospect right now, in working with a writer on a book, and it's enabled me to go back and kind of look at some of these key moments, talk to some of the people like my recreational therapist from over 39 years ago, who was dealing with me when I was newly injured in the hospital, and they had deep concerns about discharging me and what might happen to me just based on my history and my craziness that led me to where I was in the rehab hospital. But you know what? It's just about finding opportunities. And then everything I've done as a result and following has been to create opportunities, bring disparate people together to hopefully share best practices and learn from one another, and then really just expose them, because they may not be ready today, but to give them a little taste. And, then when that light bulb clicks and they say, oh, I remember, that dude was water skiing, downhill mountain biking, or he was getting in his car and going to work. That's really what I do and why I do it. And it's really, really been rewarding.
All right. So as we begin to now talk about universal design, first, can you give us a little bit of a prerogative, the long view here of, you mentioned 30 plus years ago, of the evolution that you've seen in America, in society, in the built environment, if you will. I mean, so because as many challenges that there are now, let's not forget, and thanks to you and many others, like all the advancements that we have made and how much better off we now are with access as compared to like pre-ADA, for example.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're right. I was injured right around pre-ADA, and the back then, things were a little more challenging, and they always are. But starting way back, it was really our forefathers, the veterans that laid the foundation for us in sports and everything, accessibility, the key advocates who laid on the steps of the Capitol and really made what's happening today possible. But there has been there's the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Rehab Act. There's things that set the foundation for built environment, local codes, etc. But the move towards universal design really far exceeds all of those areas that have typically been seen by us as the floor. So it's how do you take what's already out there and make it better and more usable by everybody? So if it's a wave technology on a restroom door, automatic door, and I think following the pandemic, there was a lot of innovations that came out of that and other utilizations that would benefit folks. And also companies following the pandemic were looking at how do we bring employees back into the workplace? How do we get them back here? A lot of vacant space still exists today. And so they're trying to incentivize. Well, if you're creating more opportunities in the workplace, a quiet workspace, open workspace, quiet areas in the cafeteria or break room. So you're really kind of enticing employees with an environment that's more conducive to a broader range of individuals with visual, neurodevelopmental, others. So it's really a win-win for the company and for the employee. And
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we talk about universal design principles here all the time, that when you build it for the most challenging use case scenarios, you're making not only the accessibility better for people with disabilities, but the usability better for everybody. And then your product is better. And we've seen that online and all throughout. So tell us something a little bit then about what you're working on now, your app, and what you think that's going to do for people with disabilities.
So typically what we do is we work with a company and we help them based on their corporate goals and objectives and mission and vision. We help them develop a set of standards that will set the framework for how their designers and design team build future projects or incorporate the updated strategies into their renovations. So what we've learned over time is that companies really want to move towards a more fluid, enclosed system. And so by developing the application that will be functional on phones, on mobile devices, on iPads, or on tablets, we will allow organizations to create their own checklists, manage their own checklists, have a team of auditors within their organization conduct the audit, but we'll also allow entrepreneurs to license the app and create their own product, and then go out and do audits on their own. So it's a very comprehensive, interactive SaaS-based application that is going to be multifunctional and accessible. So it's really exciting, and we should be launching that here soon.
All right, great. Well, definitely get us the information on that. We'll put it in the description so anybody who's interested. As we begin to conclude here, tell us where you see disability heading and, what's next, not only for you, but like where are we in the ecosystem of things? Because you have the benefit of this long view here.
Well, I would say, you probably want to ask somebody who's much, much younger than me that question. But really, I think, innovation, with AI, I think the adaptation to that and how some of the new technologies will allow individuals, primarily with more significant disabilities, to be more productive, is really going to be exciting to explore how the world will leverage that technology, but also in terms of genetic therapies and genetic technologies that may one day offer resolutions or to people who have certain disabilities. But in general, I think the world is becoming more accessible, and the demand is there because multinational companies are influencing what's happening around the world. And so by that leadership, there's definitely a need to, for other countries to jump on the bandwagon.
Yes, I think that's right. And I think we are getting more inclusive for individuals with disabilities, which is a good thing. So, all right, Andrew, well, thank you. Please be sure to get us all your information so that if people want to check out all of the things you're doing, we can get them that information and they can interact with you.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Great seeing you. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, Andrew, it's great to have you. It's David D'Arcangelo, another episode of Save Visibility. Thanks for listening and tuning in. If you could like, subscribe, share, comment, that really does help us keep great content flowing for you. So this is another episode of Save Visibility, and I hope you have a great day. For more information about disability employment issues, please visit our website, disabilityemploymentsolutions.com. The Save As Ability podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our YouTube channel at Disability Policy Expert, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment. Save As Ability lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #TheNewRadio. Again, my name is David D'Arcangelo, and I'm your disability policy expert. Until next time, thank you. I hope you have a great day.